answer any questions, but I believe the information is going to be pretty straightforward.
Okay, sounds great.
Yes, ma'am.
Doesn't have a lot of light like my other room. I'm in another room today. I'm up working on my laptop. Normally I'm in another room, so it might not be as bright, but I'm here.
When the full body of committee members get on, I do want you to know that a couple of these items we don't have another scheduled meeting, so we are going to ask that if it's the will of you as a chair that body that we ask these items to be moved to the meeting tonight so that we can address them. So that way we don't have to wait until February because some of these items, since we're going to have a meeting, will be helpful to be addressed.
Okay. Okay. What you want? What A and B?
Yes, ma'am. I know that's going to require the council chair to consider that, but we're going to ask.
Okay. Once we listen to them, I'll see whether or not we can ask them to be moved to tonight's meeting.
Yeah, we're really going to be looking at B and C.
Okay, B and C. All right. In my digging of my documents as I was transferring them out, I found a document that you might like to have to put into your records, and I will, get that to Michelle. I might bring it tomorrow so you can, if I can remember, put in the package so you can have that for future information, because I remember we had a discussion about it.
Okay.
And I told you, I thought I had some information. I've been digging in boxes and all of these these binders that I have, and I'm not really sure where to throw them. I'm going through them because there's a lot of information in them, and I just want to make sure that I retain what I want to retain and have some archive, and then the others, like Michelle can help me deal with that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I plan on being there, so if you have it, I'll try.
I know exactly where it is, and when I get off the phone, I'm gonna put it on top of my purse, so I'll make sure that I have it for tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, this is McBride. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Good
Hello?
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Fine. I'm on my telephone. So if there are problems, it's because I'm usually on my computer, but I'm out, so I'm on my phone tonight. How are you doing?
Okay, I'm doing very well. Good. We can hear you really well. That's not a problem.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Ms. Dickerson, will this be a short meeting?
I'm hoping it'll be as short as you want to make it. It can be 3 minutes. It can be 5. As short as you make it. Look, I'm ready to go into my retirement. Okay. I've been on the phone all this week on Zooms all this week, and I
know it.
I'm zoomed to the moon. Down. I am.
Yeah, I know. I've been zooming too and ripping and running, so that's why I'm still out in the street right now.
Well, you be careful in the streets now.
Oh, I am. I've got a mask and a shield on.
Got a bonnet on too.
Yeah, I'm in the car now, so I'm by myself in the car for the time being, so I've taken it off.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing. Okay. Yeah.
But I said, let me make sure I put this call in time, because I know Ms. Dickerson will start this meeting at 6:00.
I'm just waiting till it next 30 seconds tick.
I know you are.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I joined on early, because if I want to avoid any problems, because a lot of times you run into technical difficulties, things don't hook up. And so I try to start real early to make sure that I'm available and accessible. Well, it's now 6 o'clock and good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? It's now 6 o'clock, and as Ms. McBride just acknowledged, that I do start a meeting on time. As the magistrates, we had a meeting a few months ago, maybe a year ago, and they were just, hem-hawing in the back. I started my meeting. They come slow. Sir, I'm sorry, but I start on time. But anyhow, I want to call Richland County A&F Committee, Administration and Finance Committee meeting to order for December the 17th, 2020. This will be my last meeting serving as chair and on this committee, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. And with that, I will ask Ms. Only to call the roll to make sure that we have a quorum. Ms. Only, will you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Malinowski,
Here.
Dickerson,
Here.
McBride,
Here.
Walker, Myers. We do have a quorum.
We do have a quorum. So it has been determined that we have a quorum, and the next item on the agenda will be item 2, approval of the minutes of the regular November session, November 19th, 2020. Those minutes are on page 6 through 15. Hope you all had a chance to review them. With that, I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second? I'll second for discussion. Any discussion on this item? Hearing none, all in favor, Ms. Only call the roll to approve the minutes.
Malinowski,
Yes.
Dickerson,
Yes,
McBride,
Yes.
Walker, Myers. Motion passes.
thank you. Next item will be the approval of the agenda. I did not get any requests for additions for the agenda. Mr. Brown, do you have any additions or deletions for the agenda for tonight prior?
We do not, Madam Chair, we do not have any additions, but if you are willing to entertain deletions, we believe item 4A will need to be either removed or deferred. It is one of those items that there was discussion about the parks and recreation through Recreation Commission. So there needs additional time with that particular item.
Okay, with that item, I will ask for the approval of the agenda. When we get to that agenda, I entertain a motion to retain it in committee. I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as outlined.
So move.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Miss Only, we jumped ahead of you. You may call the roll to make sure that you have it correctly. So
Yes, ma'am. Malinowski,
Yes.
Dickerson,
yes,
McBride,
Yes.
Walker, Myers. Motion passes.
thank you. Mr. Malinowski, are you feeling okay this afternoon?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Then you didn't sound like you were cutting wood all day today. So
Nope, I'm here.
okay, well, good.
Even put the video on, you can see I'm here.
Okay. Okay, well, the next item will be item 4A, and I just had a request from the administrator to look at removing this item till
Make a
the
motion.
meeting. Mr. Malinowski, you're recognized.
Hey, Madam Chair, based on the administrator's request, I would move that we defer this item, keep it in committee until such a time as staff has the information they need and discussions completed with Richland County Recreation Commission.
You heard the
I
motion.
second.
Properly moved in second. Any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, Ms. Only, will you please call the roll?
Yes, ma'am. Malinowski,
Yes.
Dickerson,
Yes,
McBride,
Yes.
Walker, Myers. Motion passes.
thank you. Next item will be item 4B, Richland County School District 1 intergovernmental agreement, the IGA, to connect to the southeast sewer and water expansion system. Though that information, you can find that on 178 through 210. I hope you had the opportunity to review it. With that, I'll entertain a motion on this item.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Malinowski, you recognized.
this is an item that I know Councilwoman Myers always had quite a bit of discussion on to make sure that the school district is in line with what the county is trying to do, and it had to do with the dollar amounts. And I'm wondering if this is an item that anybody's from staff or the committee has heard from Ms. Myers on.
Mr. Malinowski, personally speaking, I have not heard from Ms. Myers regarding anything on the agenda as it relate to this particular item. Mr. Brown, have you had any discussion with Ms. Myers?
To answer the question short, no, I have not had any discussion with Ms. Myers. We can address the questions that you did ask, Mr. Malinowski, if Madam Chair will allow us to do that and move forward here, sir.
Mr. Malinowski, will you entertain the answer to some of your questions from Mr.
Sure.
Brown?
Absolutely.
Mr. Brown, you are recognized.
Okay, thank you. And I'll have Dr. Thompson to back me up. But we did at the last council meeting when we discussed this item, and the council communicated that the school district needed to add the additional funds in, which was a $500,000 commitment in addition to the $2 million, as well as they needed to include in the IGA the understanding that once the lagoons were drained, if the funding that was received did not wholly cover the cleaning of that lagoon, that the school district would then have to add additional funds at that level as well. The school district received a letter from myself. The school board reviewed that information. They sent a letter back to us. I believe that letter is also included as a part of the packet, where they did communicate that they were willing to pay the additional funds for the county specifically requested, which is the $500,000, as well as they understood that if the lagoons did require additional funding to clean out, to comply with DHEC requirements, that they would also pay those funds. They asked for a specific amount. We told them we could not give them a specific amount because until the lagoons are drained, we don't know whether or not there will be any contamination, but they did agree to both of those conditions.
Okay, Mr. Malinowski, does that answer your question?
Yes, Madam Chair, I saw the letter, the response from them, and the IGA that we have in front of us is one that was, I guess, created by our legal department. Is that correct, Administrator Brown?
That is correct.
Okay. And as long as we have all that, and it's up to the school district now to get that and sign it, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay, well then I'm fine with that, Madam Chair. I had to make a motion to approve the staff recommendation to accept the IGA and forward it to the district for their signatures.
Okay, I hear a
Madam
second.
Chair,
Uh-huh.
Madam Chair, I second it if you agree with it, because I know you in on those discussions also.
Yeah, I was in on the discussion. The only thing I have, it looks like I have the question about 250,000, 250. That was always what I thought was a part of it. And the 500,000, I had a concern about it. So,
Mhm.
Mr.
Well, I'll second it.
Mr. Thompson
Yes, ma'am.
or Miss McBride seconded for discussion.
I second it. I second it for discussion. Mm.
Yeah, that's what I said. You seconded for discussion. Mr. Brown, Dr.
Mm.
Thompson, did I quote my,
So the amount that they have agreed to pay to add is it's above the 250, it's 500,000.
Oh, it's 500,000.
Right, so instead of.
Okay,
so-
okay, I'm
so-
comfortable with that
Right,
because,
so 2,500,000.
okay, all right, that,
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with that, Miss McBride. Dr. Thompson, you comfortable with that?
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah, that's what that makes it much more acceptable.
And Madam Chair, and if they sign the agreement, they will also agree to pay any additional costs once those lagoons are drained also.
Okay, that's fine. I'm seeing Mr. Davis, he's agreeing. So with that, if there's no further discussion on this item, Ms. Only, will you please call the roll?
Malinowski,
Yes.
Dickerson,
Yes.
McBride,
Yes.
Walker, Myers. Motion passes.
Mr. Brown, to the committee, Mr. Brown asked if we would be willing to see whether or not we could forward this to the special call meeting tonight. Now, that would be up to the chair whether or not he wants to add this item to that agenda, but he has asked that hopefully the chair will allow this because I believe he said it was time sensitive. So we can all bear that in mind. What's the process? Just, we've already approved it, so that's the process, Mr. Brown?
Yes, ma'am. Now is to go to the next item, and then I believe at the council, you all will go through that process and see if you all are willing to able to add anything else to the agenda. But I believe with this item right now, we're done in this committee session.
Okay, well, next item will be 4C, request for sewer availability approved for a proposed development on Old Tarma Road in Irmo, South Carolina. The track, you can read all the numbers there and you find the information off that on page 211 through 217. The chair, as Joyce, will entertain a motion on this item.
Madam Chair, I'll approve it for discussion, or I make a motion to approve for discussion.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it because I need some more information from staff also about what it is.
Okay, well, the motion for item 4C have been moved and second. Discussion, Mr. Malinowski, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On page 212 of our agenda, Director Davis, under the strategic and generative discussion, the very first sentence there at the end of it, it says you'd like to provide reliable and higher level sewer service to this proposed development. I'd like an explanation of what higher level sewer service is. I thought we provide equal service to all residents.
Mr. Brown, will you address Mr. Malinowski's concerns?
He was asking about the wording that Mr. Davis used in the briefing document. Mr. Davis, could you just
Mr. Davis, would you chime in on that, please?
Yes, ma'am. That's some pretty typical language. This subdivision does not exist. So higher level as in not septic systems, but gravity sewer system.
Okay, and for Administrator Brown, I've been dealing with this for quite a while now, and I keep hearing that this is typical language, not just now, but in other committees that we've been through and at the council level. I think we need to maybe get away from typical language and put Richland County language in here, because a higher level of sewer service leads me and possibly others to believe that they're going to be getting something that others won't. I would think that would like to provide reliable sewer service would be adequate to put in this case. My next question is, it says the county council, on the continuing to the next paragraph, the county council has not taken any action on this development previously. I don't know if somebody, I guess Ms. Powell could answer this, if not Mr. Price, if he's here. And that is this a development that's being developed in conjunction with current zoning, or is there going to be a rezoning request?
Mr. Davis, Mr. Brown, and Dr. Thomas.
Sure, I think I can answer the question this way, Mr. Malinowski. One of the things that I heard specific to these issues is that when developments are coming on board, council members are not routinely aware And as a result, there are concerns about developments going up and council members not being noticed. A part of the sewer availability process that we're providing now is really to bring you in an awareness of these developments so that you won't be in a situation where all of a sudden you're being informed that there's a development and you knew nothing about it. So it's really more along the lines of, this process has been your normal process, Mr. Malinowski. This is nothing new. The only reason you're getting this now is because under my administration, I communicated about being more aware and give you more information. That's all we're doing right now. Normally this wouldn't even come before you, but it's coming before you now so that you will be informed about developments that are ongoing that you may not have been aware of before.
Madam Chairperson, may I add to that? John Thompson here.
Yes, sir. Dr. Thompson, you're recognized.
Thank you so much. Mr. Malinowski, to add what the administrator has eloquently stated just now, and to also what we've found is that doing our staff doing research, that when these new developments come online, staff has given out this sewer availability letter. And the issue is that once the development comes online, the county is accepting assets from these folks, from these development. Now, once we accept those assets, we take full responsibility to make any repairs, any maintenance to them. If they break, we have to bring it back to council. So for us is to let you know on the front end about these new developments so that once we accept these assets, you are fully aware of the assets that we're accepting, because only you can accept the assets, not staff.
That makes sense.
Well, I think I understand what you're saying. However, it still leaves the question unanswered that I asked, and that is, you can tell me a development is being considered for a particular area, and I understand that if they have asked for sewer service, that you want to give them a letter that it is available if it is, and within our capacity to provide it to them. But that still doesn't answer my question. If you give them a letter stating that sewer capacity is available for their development, but their development needs to have a rezoning approved, then I think we need to know that first, because you may be giving a commitment for a capacity and the rezoning may never be approved. So I think we're putting the cart before the horse here. I know it said 47 lots, I believe it said 47 single family homes, but under the current acreage of this particular development, are the 47 homes within the current zoning, or would there need to be a rezoning request? That's my question.
Madam Chair, may I be recognized?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Powers, you're recognized.
Mr. Malinowski, there is no rezoning necessary for this development.
Thank you, Ms. Powell.
Yes, sir.
I'm through, Madam Chair.
Okay. Ms. McBride, did you have a question or some concerns?
Well, Mr. Malinowski, I wanted to hear a little bit more about the project, and Mr. Malinowski's questions sort of address that. What is the staff? And I don't have the, I apologize, but I'm in the car and I don't have the information available. What was the staff's recommendation? Was this a staff?
Was
this a
If I may, Madam Chair, it says staff recommends council
Recommendation
approve the
approval.
issuance of the sewer availability letter for the development.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Mhm.
Dr. Thompson, I saw your, probably, did your hand go up as well?
I was just going to respond to her question. Thanks for acknowledging me. You all.
Mr. Davis, do you have any concerns about anything to add to Mr. Malinowski and Ms. McBride?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Okay. Mr. Malinowski and Ms. McBride, are you all comfortable with the information that you received regarding this item?
I am, Madam Chair.
I am too, because
Yes.
it's a good thing. I think one of the things, I think I have been bringing this to the attention to staff for some time, is like, a lot of times we are, the council members are always kind of on the back end, and things are going on in our district, and a lot of times we don't have a clue. But I think this, in my opinion, is very good, and I can support it. So if no further, if there's no further discussion on this item, I will ask.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
if I may just have a comment to Administrator Brown, and I appreciate what you're doing here, but there are sometimes that developments are going to be built whereby they may not need public sewer. And they may need a small 10, 15, 20 unit development, and it's going to be sewer and, it's going to be septic and well water. And I've asked for years and don't always get it. I'd like to know when a request comes in, not just for rezoning, but as you just stated, a development is going to be taking place. Even if we're not providing any service to that development, maybe Ms. Powell and her group could just let us know about it. Thank you.
Yeah, can you fix that so you can add that into the language so that will be inclusive in the language that Mr. Malinowski just described?
Well, Madam Chair, we don't need it for this one. This is a separate item to.
Okay, all right, okay.
I'd just like to let him, the administrator, know that maybe they could work on handling that.
All right, well, if no further discussion on this item, I ask Ms. Only to call the roll. Ms. Only, will you please call the roll?
Yes, ma'am. Malinowski,
Yes.
Dickerson,
Yes.
McBride,
Yes.
Walker, Myers. Motion passes.
Thank you. And also Mr. Brown has asked that these two items, item 4B and C, that we hopefully we can get them forward to the chair and let the chair of the council be aware that hopefully these are time sensitive and need to be addressed, hopefully in the meeting tonight. And with that, I want to tell you all, thank y'all for letting me serve so many times on the A&F committee. I tell you, I'm smart now, so I can probably go to DC now. So if y'all look up and see me up there, like, yeah, because that might be where I'm headed. I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, thank you.
Madam Chair, thank you for your leadership, and we will miss you.
I'll miss you too. And guess
Madam Chair, I would not miss you because I'll be hassling you pretty regular, so I won't miss you, so don't worry about
it. your buddy knocked on my door today and I sent him packing, Paul. Well, anyhow, all of you, Mr. Davis, Mr. Brown, all of the staff, thank you for your unwavering support over these many years. And it's been a pleasure working with you all. And I tell you one thing, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm getting a new smile and a zip in my hip. I feel really good. So have a great day, and I'll see you all soon in zoning public hearing. It's been.
We move for adjournment.
I got a motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor of adjournment. Ms. Only, will you please call the roll?
Malinowski,
Yes.
Dickerson,
Yes.
McBride,
Yes.
Walker, Myers. Motion passes.
Thank you.